Sun Daily Observer. Lara all over the covers. The king of cricket. There you go. You want one? You want one?
Well, it doesn't matter which paper you look at this morning. Brian Lara is on the front pages all over the world. 400 runs, resetting the world record for the highest individual score in Test match cricket. So welcome to this special show marking a special achievement. And remember, who reset this record almost 10 years to the day after he first made that 375. But this time the record wasn't to last for long, because on Easter Monday 2004, Brian Lara became the first man ever in the history of Test cricket to score 400. Lara at 3 again, as he was in Barbados. Well, that's going to be 4. He's found the gap just to Gully's right hand there.
Away fine, 4 more. One of the fastest scoring grounds in the world, the recreation ground at St John's, Antigua. Well, that'll bring back some memories of 1994. Looking for a repeat. Going after the shortest boundary and finding it. Now, does Brian Lara enjoy batting here? St John's, Antigua.
Lara still not looking as fluent as normal, but still working hard.
That's through the offside, like a flash to the boundary. Lara warming up here. He's on 36, 125 for 2.
He's gone for 4 again. Just about the 4th boundary, maybe 3 that Lara has scored in that area since the resumption. 135 for 2. Brian Lara 4 away from another Test match 50. And that'll be it. His 44th Test match half-century, his first of this series, and he's leading from the front.
Well, I thought he gutsed it out in Barbados very, very well. And I think the frustration of the people and his batsmen at the other end getting out eventually led to his downfall, but a lovely way to bring up a 50. Just 61 balls. 44th Test 50.
And Brian Lara is exerting his own pressure here. That's a thing of beauty. That's another boundary for Brian Lara. Previous world record of 375 runs against England in 1994, 10 years ago.
Well, he's ticking today, Brian Lara. Wonderful player to watch, and he's got his eye in. He looks in good form.
Got it very fine. Now Harmison will have a chase, but he won't get there. That's a very fine shot by Lara. Kept it away from the fielder and gets a boundary for it. And this one now shorter and cracked away. Brian Lara's favourite shot. We've seen a number of them today against both pace and spin. And that's another boundary for him, his 10th, carrying him to 75.
That's away very fine, down towards a short third-man boundary. Bit of a jog for Brian Lara. No more than that. It's always going to be 4.
Here's the first ball, day 2, Test 4. And Lara starts off with a lovely off drive. Will go all the way, touch and go, and it does. Well, that's a nice start for the West Indies captain. Beautifully played. Lovely shot by Lara. Placed magnificently. That's the shot of a fantastic player.
Nothing wrong with the delivery, really. Just look how he manoeuvres that ball. He knows exactly where the fielders are. Michael Vaughan's at mid-on. There is a square leg as well. He gets right in the gap, right in the middle, a turn of the wrists. Just see where his weight is as well, going into the shot. 98.
He's got it away, and that's it. That's going to be Brian Lara's 25th Test 100.
Terrific innings. He gets 100 every 8th innings. He's just had 6 barren knocks against England, 2 against South Africa, and he's back. England spectators applaud. Another Brian Lara century, and you just feel that it's unfinished business. There's a lot more to come. Played real well. Take guard, get yourself ready again.
Wonderful shot. Well, David Lloyd called it. Looks very much as if there's a lot more to come.
Well, England spectators at the hotel this morning said it's been really good to watch Brian Lara bat, and what we'd really like is for him to get 100 and get out. I said, don't count on it. He's got a terrific pitch, Hoggard around the wicket, heavy set field on the offside, and he just works this into that mid-wicket leg side. That's another 4. 14 fours.
75 he scored on this ground. That's beaten Hussain and will run away very fine for 4 runs. Fantastic. That really is a shot of the highest class indeed.
Brian Lara's done more than keep the faith. I'm sure he appreciates the support he's getting. It's been a torrid time for him, torrid time for all his batsmen in the previous 3 matches of this series, but now, of course, is the time to make hay, and that's exactly what he's doing.
He's so strong in this area, anything off the back foot. So he then makes the bowler overcompensate and drive this down the ground.
Move on further now as well. Glided very fine. Harmison can't get round.
Lots of runs. It'll be 5.
About scoring so many runs in this first innings. This is getting serious now. 201. 3rd wicket partnership.
It's 150 for Brian Lara. He's off and running on one of those marathon innings once again. It's his 14th score of 150 or more in 25 Test match hundreds, and he's not finished yet.
No, those English spectators can just settle in and watch his double 100, I think. And there'll be more. Chairman looks pleased there. 151 in 199, 18 fours. You can tell that he's in such good nick. Here is his Test career best scores. 375 here against England 94, 277 at Sydney against Australia, 221 in Colombo, 213 versus Australia again. So runs all around the world, big runs as well.
Hoggard to Lara. Well, I'll just pick up where I left off. 19 fours now.
Pretty difficult to find anything good about that delivery from Matthew Hoggard. It's the first one after lunch, so I suppose you could say he's perhaps a bit stiff from having nothing to do for the last 45 minutes or so. But that was asking to be hit. outscore someone of Lara's ability.
Harmison into Lara. Oh, that's a magnificent stroke. So reminiscent of 10 years ago at this ground. Lara, during that innings of 375, just kept missing the fielders.
No need to run. Nowhere near the defensive field that we saw earlier on, and of course Michael Vaughan with the second new ball will looking to take wickets. That's why there are no fielders posted on the boundary.
Well, it's a good shot from Lara. Harmison has given up the chase pretty early, and that's why, because it's all about timing and finding the gap.
Threw himself around the last ball to try and cut it off, Steve Harmison. I don't think he's ever going to get there. Good shot though, isn't it, from Brian Lara? Punching it on the up, through the offside. Good running.
Now some chasing here for the sweeper. Very well done. Paul Collingwood in the action once again. Just too short on length. Only marginally.
I say it only has to be marginally, doesn't it? It's not that far off. A good delivery, good fielding.
Well, caught Lara in two minds, and that is a big effort on this surface.
I'm just wondering if he actually lost this. It's very strange. Oh, maybe you're right, Bish. Maybe he thought about playing the hook shot and then pulled out of it. Let's have a look. Almost if he loses it. It certainly caused him a problem. It wasn't what he was expecting. He's in that good a nick though. He can take, even play a shot and hit the bat. Just flap it down.
Lara's down the ground. That's going to be his first six. So Lara greets the introduction of Batty with a typical straight six, his first of the innings.
It's an emphatic message to send, is it not? First ball, straight down. He's hit it beautifully, absolutely beautifully, dead straight. Perfect follow through. That's almost Sobers like, that follow through. No need to run for them. That's bounced over the wall. Put it this way, it's bounced the other side of the wall.
Yeah, I think it's gone into Factory Road. Someone saying it's under the car. It's under the car out there. So they'll be searching for that for a while. Well, it looks as if that's the one they've retrieved. What's it? It's round, it's red. You know what it's like. Go and fetch it.
Or if you don't want to go, send David Lloyd. Lovely shot there. Perfect example of how to hit that ball straight. High back lift, high follow through, high six.
Now a sweep for four that carries him to 199. So Brian Lara within one of his seventh double hundred, carries the West Indies past 400.
Well, no wonder they're jubilant. He's timed both of those shots absolutely perfectly.
There it is. Acclaim all around the ground. from supporters of both teams and supporters of neither.
I'm not sure I've ever seen Brian Lara jump and punch the air like that before. It's been a tough time for him this series. He came into it with some good form behind him in South Africa, even though the team itself was struggling. The England bowlers have really made him work hard for the previous 3 test matches. This is payback time now for Brian Lara. 200 not out, it's 391 minutes, 22 fours and 1 6. It's been fabulous to watch. It's just a mark of his class, a mark of his talent that he's been able to come back here. Not just make 60 or 70, or not just make what you might call an ordinary 100, but he's shown just how hungry he still is by going to 200 now. One has the feeling there's still plenty of petrol left in the tank as well.
No third man. Another 51 overs for the day scheduled after this. Couple more for Lara. We did have a match here not too long ago, India versus West Indies, a couple of seasons back, when only 2 innings were completed in the entire match. A very high scoring game. All 11 Indians bowled in the West Indies innings, which was the second of the match. Pitch not dissimilar to this. Lara goes after him, but he just gets the single out to deep cover. Chiscotic in his 6th over now, none for 15. West Indies push on, force 17 for 4.
Looks, David, as though Lara's there for the long haul.
Well, he's in the zone, isn't he? Into 200s. He's got lots of time to bat, as long as he wants, really. A bit early to talk about records, but he plays that well. We talk about premeditated sweeps, but he doesn't miss any. And he can play all sorts of different sweeps. Very strong, powerful shots, and then that little paddle there just gets him a single, ticks the board over. But it's a good experience, is this, for Gareth Batty. He must be thoroughly enjoying this, bowling against one of the greatest players there's ever been.
Not a dot ball this time, but only one.
He's very much in the bubble, he's in the zone. He's done all the hard work, and he's making up now for lost time in 3 test matches where he's not scored.
Takes the single. England tactics are fairly obvious. Get Lara away from the strike. He hasn't faced many deliveries in the last few overs. Just 12 deliveries Lara's faced in the last 9 overs. So 7 overs have been bowled at Ryan Hines, while just 2 have been bowled at the West Indies captain. The field is widespread, with Batty about to bowl to Brian Lara. Lara on 209, just surveying the leg side field.
Hey! He's changed his mind here. Looks as if he's going to come down the pitch and go over the top again. Keeps his back foot anchored.
Well, he's down the track this time. Go and look for that one.
Had a little chassis the previous delivery and decided against it this time. Excellent footwork, chat between these two. There's not a lot you can do. Yeah, 6 all the way. Watch this.
change of mind again.
It's great to watch this, and I'll say again, this is good for his education as a spin bowler. 215, come and have a bowl.
Well, that's a terrific response from Batty. It's a very rare false stroke from Lara. Lara's objective here is to blast the spinner out of the attack so that Vaughan can't use him straight after tea. Get some of those seam bowlers even more tired than they already are, and then there'll be rich pickings for everybody during the closing 90 minutes of play.
It's a lovely piece of bowling that from Gareth Batty. After he's been hit for 6, he went wide on the crease. Lara's come down again and deceived him on the angle that he bowled. He's fortunate to get an outside edge and pick up a couple. 9 runs off the over so far, and he's not done a thing wrong. Excellent average. I just wonder whether people around the ground and at home are thinking, well, is this another record? Is he on target? He's got 219. It's a long, long way away. Anybody want to bet against it? This is a good pitch. It's a cracker. Ball is slightly old. England, the bowler down. Been out there for nearly 2 days.
That's very clever.
Well, it's another of those sweeps that we were mentioning earlier. He can play anywhere. This is almost slow motion as he gets down and plays it very, very, very late. Rolls his wrist, keeps the ball down. It's just a paddle.
He's so confident of playing that ball off the stumps. Field will change now for Ryan Hines.
And another sweep. Pitch is just outside leg stump, I think.
444 for 4.
Just doesn't miss with any of those. Highest scores at St John's here in the test matches. He's got the top 2, Lara, Jimmy Adams, Carl Hooper, Viv.
Fine sweep again. Hussain.
Nasser saying out in the deep, he won't like all this throwing. He's not got the strongest arm. He's pretty good on the square itself, shying at the stumps, but he doesn't like this.
West Indies 449 for 4. Brian Lara still there, 224 not out. Another astounding innings from the West Indies captain on his favourite pitch of all.
No slip. Cut away by Lara. That's a deliberate shot by Lara. And away to the boundary. Big space between the keeper and a fine gully.
And England's still tinkering around in that slip cordon. Where should he be? It's a lottery, really. Do we fancy a first slip or a third slip? I'm not so sure he does play this. It's a real roll of the wrist. Yeah, I think you're right, he probably does. He's seen the gap.
That's a fine shot. He's got it away. He's tried to find the gap on several occasions, and Lara has finally got through the covers. He's hit a number of fours through there. As we saw earlier, he'd found the field on a few occasions. This time he gets a boundary. Hines is not being able to do so. Too short.
3 words: short, wide, 4.
Brian Lara 375 on this ground, of course. That was the highest score in Test cricket history before Matthew Hayden got his 381 against Zimbabwe in Perth last year. Well, his right arm over the wicket. Umpire Darrell Hare might have considered that. Little encouragement now for England.
Pitched outside leg for me. We'll have a see. Armisen full of length. No great pace, only 83 miles an hour. You see where this pitch is. You can tell now. Way outside. Once the ball pitches outside that leg stump, can't be out LBW.
Well, that's a wonderful response from Lara. Short into the pull shot, 4 through mid-wicket. Good contest.
Yeah, it looks like he's got his eye in again. He's short again. On it in a flash, Brian Lara, through mid-wicket. Not square of the wicket, it's through mid-wicket.
No timing on this one. Just the single for it. Ends the over. 474 for 5. Lara's 239. Played that sweep shot very well today. Armisen with work to do, as he's had work to do during the course of the match, quite a lot on the boundaries, and done it very well. But Lara sprints through for 2.
It's been fascinating and terrific to watch him play this shot. Look at the high back lift again. Comes from high. Gets on top of the ball, back lift high there, and then comes down on the ball, rolls his wrists. He doesn't miss one.
And Gareth Batty will continue to Lara. And that'll be 4. Good use of the feet from Lara. Struck one early in the day, the opposite end of the ground for 6.
And straight down the ground, makes it a totally safe shot. There's never a field of straight down. You might have long off, you might have long on. Brian Lara quite deliberately hits it straight down the ground. Excellent footwork, excellent control.
That's gone away for 4. 250 for Brian Lara. Brings it up in the most majestic of fashions. And he keeps going on and on and on.
Just wondering if this is in the air. There certainly seems to be a reaction from the bowl. Let's have a look. Gives himself loads of room. Loads and loads of room outside the leg stump, and it was in the air, but it was hit with real power. Doesn't look worried at all.
Well, this will take some stopping. And the only thing that will do it is the boundary board.
So quick on his feet. He's almost, I'm pretty sure that he makes his mind up very early that he's going to come down the wicket. But he's a good enough player that when he comes down, you don't always have to hit the ball in the air. Now, what a shot to bring up the 500 for the West Indies. Look at the feet moving there. Gets himself right outside leg stump. Deliberately gives himself room. Knows where the fielders are set. Well bowled. Again, coming down. That's the point I'm making. He came down the wicket. Gareth Batty saw him, changed the trajectory and the pace and the line of the ball. And Brian Lara thought, well, I'll just kick it away.
And he takes one for good measure. So just starting to see little signs here that, at least to Gareth Batty, he won't allow him to bowl to him. The question has been asked, and not out is the verdict from the umpire.
Well, this does look a very good shout. But the thing is, from this angle, the one thing you've got to consider is, does it hit you, the batsman outside the line? There's always a good chance that's the case. Now, that's not hit the pad yet. So that's when it hits the pad, but I think it's still just fractionally outside the off stump.
Once he struck outside the line of off stump playing a shot, then he shouldn't be given out, even if the ball is going to go on and hit the stump. You can see the off stump that has been faded in behind the pad, and then the ball is actually behind the bat. So Hawkeye says it would have gone on to miss off stump.
Very fine, runs away for 4.
A bit more artistry here from Brian Lara. Look at his wrists just turning over on this ball, almost as if he's playing table tennis, making sure that it gets very fine. It's almost as if he got an edge to how fine it has gone. But he knew exactly what he was doing there.
On he goes. Been batting now for 510 minutes. There's Brian Lara. Great shot. More than enough time on this pitch for Lara to swing himself into position.
The 30th of his boundaries, Brian Lara, 4 that is. Really has dispatched 2 beyond the boundary. But even that shot, he still didn't look as if he timed it all that well.
That one is timed a lot better. He's placed it well. It's got enough on it to reach the boundary now for his 31st 4. Add to that 2 sixes as well.
That's a larger part of the boundary as well. Offside, batting from the factory road into the left-hander. Pretty big boundary that. Graham Thorpe had quite a bit of ground to cover. Had no chance.
There he goes again. He's found the gap. Past the substitute fielder Ricky Clark at mid-on. Not quite a symmetrical over, but nonetheless a very productive one. 12 from it, 5.25 for 5. he's going to. All the people are changing sides in the crowd already.
That always seems to happen when you're getting runs. You get all the breaks as well. That could so easily have gone onto the stumps. But he had everything behind it, Brian Lara. The bat, the pad, the boot. Had to hit something on the way through.
At 4. Just a little bit offline to Skopnik, but that's all it takes. Lara goes to 283. West Indies to 545.
He's got a long way across there. But once again, Darrell Hare says not out.
He's had a few shots against him, Brian Lara. Darrell Hare has made the right decision on every occasion. And again, he's made the right decision because it's pitched way outside the line of leg stump. Should not be given out and was not given out.
Half stopped. Thorpe will have to complete the fielding down at third man. 2 more to Lara, 287 now.
I'll tell you what, they'll be bursting at the seams tomorrow at the Antigua Recreation Ground if Brian Lara is still not out overnight. He's thrilled the crowds that have piled in for the first 2 days of this match.
Collingwood the substitute at point. Well, just enjoy some of these masterful shots. That was the opening ball of the day off Matthew Hoggard. As usual, very strong off the back through the offside. And when Batty dared to give the ball some air, out of the park he went.
Well, I think everyone has gathered that. No whitewash on this occasion. That was hit hard. No one can say that he dropped that, but that was hit very hard. Theoretically a catch, that's about it.
Moves on to 297. He'd have loved to cling on to this. Had 2 gentle Corton balls, this isn't. Lara advances just off centre. He's not got that right in the middle and he crashes it through Gareth Batty. Look at that dancing footwork. Now he's 1 shot away from 300. 297 Lara.
.574 minutes at the crease so far, Brian Lara. He's looking for 2. Not on this occasion. Moves on to 299. There he goes. That's a 300 for Lara. He'll get there comfortably. Second triple century for Brian Lara, and isn't he happy? It took him a long time to get runs in this series, but now that he has had some runs under his belt, it's a triple. Only the second man in the history of the game to get 2 triple centuries. Sir Bill Richards, Joey Carew looking on from the cricket board box, and his entire team standing, the entire ground standing.
Well, the smiles back on the faces of West Indies cricket, and it's the genius that's done it for the record. 300 in 404 deliveries, 34 fours, 2 sixes, and he's still in.
just to finish things off. Yeah, as I was saying, he's very tired, poor fellow. Third six for Lara.
Well, I don't know what it's hit, but it's hit something right behind our commentary box and has made one heck of a noise. We've sent David Lloyd to investigate, so I'm sure it's all under control. But have a look at this. Yeah, he looks tired, so why run? We'll just hit it out of the ground.
And Jacobs wants to run himself out. Lara sends him back. That's the end of the day's play. A momentous day for Brian Lara, for West Indies cricket, for world cricket. Congratulations all around from the England players who've just stood and watched Lara dominate them. He walks off the field a very tired but no doubt satisfied man.
Things go according to plan for Brian Lara and his West Indies side. It could be a day of records. Will he beat Matt Hayden's 380? Will he go on to get 400? Will West Indies post the highest ever score against England? It's away fine. Jones can't cut that off. First boundary of the day, 600 comes up for the West Indies. 603 for 5.
They're jumping in the stands, and that's probably only the beginning of what will happen if and when Lara gets to 381.
But there's a gap there, and Lara's found it. 323.
Superb footwork. He gives himself the opportunity to make a little bit of room based on the length, too short. He's a good use of the depth of the crease. Yeah, just look at the superb footwork.
They'll have to settle for one. Outside edge, it's beaten Batty, that's 4. Lara won't mind how they come. Disappointment for Harmison.
51 more to equal the record. It's a good delivery, it's a fullish length. It's testing outside the off stump. Plays with soft enough hands, Brian Lara. The new ball races off the outside edge. Third man has no chance. Wouldn't have carried, went down if there had been a third slip.
No stroke play. There is extra bounce for Harmison. That was pitched up further.
Just a little bit of movement back into Brian Lara.
Appeal from beyond the boundary, not on it. But Lara being tested out here, as is Jacobs. Good aggressive short bowling from the Englishman on a third-day pitch, which has already yielded 631 runs.
Well, it is just a touch quicker on day 3. The ball's going through when it's banged in. It didn't do this in the previous 2 days. It's banged in short again, and it does carry through to wicketkeeper Jones. Still not expressed, though. Well, there's plenty of it now from England. They're just having a go at Brian Lara. Lara looking for the record. He's on 332. Team are sitting pretty, 631 for 5. And it's just one of those spells where England in the dressing room would say, well, when we've got this new ball, we'll just try to disturb him.
Flicked away for 4. So the first ball after the drinks, and Lara just gets it past the keeper.
And he's going to work his way up that list very quickly here. There are so many in his sights, in the 333s and the 340s. Just gets a start again. He's been very quiet this morning. There it is, he's jumped up 4 or 5 spots just by that shot. Now he's got Jayasuriya in his sights, he just needs another 3. He might just get a bit twitchy in the 330s. He was stuck on 333 for a long time. That's it must be a danger area. There's so many in there at 333. He's got to be careful here.
Good run. But he's had to work for them this morning, Lara.
Super shots, 1 bounce and 4. No need to keep it down if you aim it well away from the fielders, and Brian Lara had as much time as he needed there. Was hit with ferocious power.
Well, it's always a sign when you get a quick bowler banging it in. It usually goes behind square. That's why the field is set that way. Brian Lara's had so much time here. Well, he's just swatted it away over mid-wicket. Swivels and watches.
Certain excitement in the crowd. They were wondering if that was going to go for 4 as well and take him to 350. He's looking for the second. Butcher is the man coming in from deep mid-wicket. He can't get there in time. So Brian Lara reaches another milestone. 350 not out. Wonderful stuff from an absolute genius. To get to 350, he's faced 494 balls. Batted now for 681 minutes. And included are 39 fours and 3 sixes. Followed by an exaggerated forward defensive shot. That's beautiful to watch. Very, very deft shot. Just the one though. He keeps the strike. 668 for 5. Lara has the strike. He's 351 not out. Just look at that for a late cut. He's played it at the last possible moment. He's got good bat on that. No real need to run at all. You can just sense the atmosphere building here. Real sense of anticipation around the Antigua Recreation Ground. 200 partnership comes up as well with that shot. Lara and Jacobs are now put on 203. Great shot, full of length, just timed away. Collingwood's after it, and he has good pace. Productive over. 676 for 5.
I think at this stage he probably thought he was going to make it to the boundary. It's chased down. Collingwood pulling up just inside the boundary. And it's just 2 runs.
Comfortable single. This field to Lara is now looking pretty much like the field that you'd have in the last stages of a one-day game. Last 10 overs, 4 men inside the circle, everyone else on the boundary. It's a delicate glide there from Brian Lara. Pick up a couple of runs here.
Well, he's just picking these runs up here and there, Brian Lara. And just glides the ball down in that third man region for a couple, but he has got the opportunity to hit down the ground, and he's got a following wind with him. It's a short boundary, is this. I fear the worst.
Being very brave though, Michael Vaughan, still happy to give the ball a bit of air, give it some flight.
It's only 48 miles an hour there.
There's that shot again towards the third man region. Pick up another 2. Had to rush, but got back quite comfortably.
He's calculated in where he's looking to score these runs. He's now moved on to 364. Waits, and then just dabs it down to third man, picks up 2 more.
Should just go one here, Brian Lara. That moves him on to 365. That's the old record, the one that he broke when he went on to 375. That's the score that Sir Garfield Sobers got against Pakistan. Slowly but surely creeping up the ladder, Brian Lara. A lot of protection on the boundaries, so no point in trying to hit too many big shots at this stage. Comes another run in that general area again, or just around the square leg.
Nervous 360s.
Well, Michael Vaughan thinks that Brian Lara has gone too much into his shell. He's going to try and tempt him to go over the top. He's bringing in that mid-on, trying to get him to hit against the spin over mid-on. And there he goes, right where the fielder came from. That's 4.
Well, it's a good move from Michael Vaughan. It's thoughtful captaincy. He's given him a little bit of a carrot over mid-on. $700 on the board, but it's all about this man. Gives him a little carrot, and he's bringing him back in again. He's bringing him 10 or 15 yards off the boundary edge. Bring him a little bit closer. Lara's on 372.
Still flighting it away there, Michael Vaughan. Happy to flight it on that leg stump area. Say, hit me over there again if you want. Michael Vaughan brings him in a bit further again. Simon Jones. This time he gets a bit too close to the pitch and pushes it out onto the offside. Just a single for Brian Lara. 7-0-2 for 5. Lara on 3-7-3.
I sincerely hope he goes on and does it. Well, there's a noise, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's bat on ground. I'm not sure if it's the outside edge. Brian Lara, wry smile.
It was bat on ground. A little bit of tension creeping in. 702 for 5.
Get on it.
I know what he wants to do. He wants to go down the wicket and he wants to hit this out the ground. And that's what he thinks he should do. There's some bat involved there. Certainly sound as if there was. There is. So we go on to 3-7-4. Seven more runs for Brian Lara. I wonder if Matthew Hayden's watching this in Australia.
That's gone a long, long way. It's gone into the Sir Vivian Richards Pavilion for 6. And it draws a Brian Lara level with the current other world record holder, Matthew Hayden.
That's the way to do it. Down the wicket, and I think that's what he wanted to do. And he's done it. He's equalled the record. The England team appreciate this amazing achievement. One more, and Brian Lara, on the same ground that he set the record before Matthew Hayden broke it, will retain the record of the highest run scorer in Test cricket ever. Michael Vaughan brings the field in. I have a feeling I know where this might be going, Bish.
There it is! The world record has fallen once again to Brian Charles Lara of Trinidad and Tobago and the West Indies. The second time in his career that he's broken this record. And what a moment of history this is, a repeat performance. 10 years ago he set it, and he's done it again at the very ground.
Well, a great, great moment in cricketing history. As we talk, the Prime Minister, Baldwin Spencer, just newly elected, making his way out on the middle to congratulate Brian Lara. The England players all congratulating him. He is now 384 not out. World record score. I hear champagne corks going. What a moment. What a moment for cricket, what a moment for Brian Lara. We'll enjoy the moment, but I know what he's got, he wants 400 now. And I think we could be in for some entertainment. He's got what he wanted, the record. Acknowledging the crowd. Absorbing every moment of this, as we all should. It is amazing. Well done, Brian Lara. The man is back, Bish. The man is back.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And you just have to think of the words of the former Jamaican Prime Minister in his book on West Indian cricket as Lara Does just as he did 10 years ago. He kisses the turf at the Antigua Recreation Ground. Greatness as a response to failure has been evident in the flesh here at the Antigua Recreation Ground once again.
I don't think it matters whether you're a West Indian supporter, an England supporter, or just a cricket supporter. It's a great, great moment. And he did it in style, a 6 and a 4, to take him back to the record that he wanted so desperately.
That's a nice shot.
Sorry, Bob. Got carried away again with that shot.
.398 not out. There it goes, down to Armstrong again, 399. Lara will have the strike at the start of the 202nd over, 7:46 for 5. .399, Brian Lara on strike. Gareth Batty's the bowler. Well, it wouldn't have been the most gracious way to go to 400 off the inside edge, so Lara isn't in a hurry to take a single. He'd like to do it in better style than that.
Few problems there behind the bowler's arm. Side screen didn't change over to white. Maybe that's why he got that inside edge to the previous delivery.
Batty to Lara. There goes the sweep. There it is. Perhaps the most significant single ever in the history of Test match cricket. Brian Charles Lara becomes the first man in the history of the game to register a score of 400. 582 deliveries, 776 minutes with 43 fours and 4 sixes. A remarkable human being.
Another big one for Brian Lara. 400 runs.
So for the second time in his career, Brian Lara leaving the Antigua Recreation Ground through a guard of honour of his teammates and colleagues there. A well-deserved guard of honour it was too. And afterwards he spoke to Michael Holding.
Brian, we know world records are nothing new for you, but 400 runs, this must be something special.
It is very special. I remember back in June of '94 when I scored 501. I did wonder what it'd be like to score, you know, 1, 2, 3. I had a quintuple century, and then I wanted to score a quadruple, and to get it today was really, really special.
Everyone is saying the pitch is nice to bat on, but you have still got to go out there and get those runs. We saw the concentration on you. How hard was it?
It was tough, but I think it was building up from Barbados. I spent a lot of time in the middle. I didn't get the results that I wanted, but I thought I worked on my game, especially after the second Test match. And you know, today and over the last 3 days, you know, I've benefited from it.
There are a few rumors going around that Matt Hayden called you from last night to wish you the best. Is that so?
He might have tried, but I didn't get that call yet. But I know Australian time, Matt would have been looking or listening. I'm sure that he was wishing me on. I remember hearing it back in October when he broke my record, and I thought I was very happy for the game and for Matthew. And I suppose he'd feel the same. But I may check my messages and see if he did call.
In other words, you didn't want to hear from anyone last night. The target was on and you didn't want to hear from anyone.
But actually, I was calling people from 3 o'clock this morning because I couldn't sleep. You know, a couple of my English friends, it was 8 o'clock in the morning there, and you know, they were good wishes. And I think it was great to get out there and get that runs today.
Well, Brian, 400 runs, that's behind you. I think someone asked you earlier on if you were trying to break the world record against Bangladesh. What about getting 401 against them?
Nah, I would like to see someone get it. I'd like to see our team start scoring 400, 500 plus on a regular basis with contribution from especially the younger players. I think I've had my time in the sun and I've enjoyed it. I think you know, I'd love to sit back and see the Chris Gales and Sarwan and the younger guys go out there and get big scores.
So Brian Lara, weary but nonetheless very, very satisfied with his day's work. 400 not out, a wonderful achievement.
There it is. The world record has fallen once again to Brian Charles Lara of Trinidad and Tobago and the West Indies. The second time in his career that he's broken this record.
Perhaps the most significant single ever in the history of Test match cricket. Brian Charles Lara becomes the first man in the history of the game to register a score of 400.
Great moment in cricketing history. It is amazing. Well done, Brian Lara.